Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the morning edition of the Weather Extreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 19th of April. Going to feel like summertime this week across the state. We're talking highs up in the 80s, dew points up in the 60s. Going to be humid and muggy and some storms along the way. But today, the big outbreak will be northwest of here. We'll check the Skycam shots this morning, nice and quiet. First off, coming from Gadsden, Panattawa County. Head up to the Tennessee Valley in Huntsville. Got a few brave folks out there at the ridiculous hour of 5 o'clock. And way down south, the beautiful Alabama Gulf Coast. Note the moonlight reflecting off the waters of the Gulf of Mexico there in the left-hand part of the screen. All right, got a new trough developing out west. And going to be an active convective day for parts of the Midwest today. Look at the numbers this morning. Pretty interesting. Over in the east, it's a little cooler. Readings in the 50s from Anniston down to Montgomery. But as you go west, the clouds are thicker and the winds are increasing out of the south, and they're in the 60s. You go from 66 in Birmingham to 56 over in Anniston. But everybody goes up in the 80s today. There's your watch warning map. Wind advisories in effect for parts of West Alabama and some of the adjacent states. And up north, the first severe thunderstorm watch of the event. That's until 10 o'clock this morning for parts of Missouri and Illinois. That includes the St. Louis area. And inevitably, many more watches will follow today. There's your moderate risk running from the southeastern part of Oklahoma, around McAllister, up to Indianapolis, Indiana. And that includes Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Cape Girardeau, Paducah, Kentucky. And within that area, there could be some strong tornadoes today. And surrounding that, you've got the slight risk all the way from Dallas-Fort Worth up to near Cleveland and Erie and Buffalo and Detroit. And it's always interesting to kind of watch the north central Texas. I used to work out there years ago, and you never know where that dry line is going to fire up, if it's going to be near Dallas-Fort Worth or just east of there. But whatever, that does not include any part of Alabama. In fact, I think we stayed dry today. Look at the probabilities. Again, 45% chance of severe weather within 25 miles of a given point through that moderate risk area. Well, by golly, look at that. Day 2, now there's a slight risk, which is the standard risk, for about the northern half of Alabama with the trailing front. Now, the dynamics are pulling away. I'm not real bullish on big severe weather problems. There could be some strong storms, certainly. And you know my saying, when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. But clearly, this is nothing like last Friday with a dying cold front. But clearly, the air will be very unstable like summertime. And with the surface boundary around, there could be a few strong storms. But again, I don't think it will be a major issue. The probabilities are only in the 15% bracket tomorrow, not the 30% bracket. Then on day 3, low end 5% probabilities off to the west. Day 3 is Thursday. Ooh, boy, we're going to have some flooding problems up north. 7 inches of rain over southern Illinois and Indiana. Of course, all that'll drain down that Ohio River there into the Mississippi. And, of course, in Alabama, it's a big gradient. You go from Muscle Shoals, where they might pick up 2.5 inches, to Atmore and Mobile and Gulf Shores with nothing, not a drop. They're under the ridge. And it's a battleground between that warm ridge aloft and the stall front to the north in coming days, as you'll see. Let's dig a little deeper. This is the OZGFS at noon today. And again, there's your trough developing off to the northwest. And down below that, the surface low is 1,000 millibars near Springfield, Missouri, and a warm front north of here. And again, for us today, partly sunny and warm. We'll be in the mid-80s. Dew points go up in the low 60s, although they might mix down to the upper 50s this afternoon. Whatever, warm and dry. But again, we'll watch that big convective outbreak forming late today and tonight to the northwest. Now, tomorrow, clearly the good dynamics are lifting north up toward eastern Canada, moving out of the Great Lakes. And there's your trailing front. The surface low is north of Buffalo, New York. And, I think what you're going to see is a pretty nasty-looking line of storms maybe coming down toward Memphis in the pre-dawn hours. Then it just kind of dissipates, and storms will redevelop on the outflow of those overnight storms down and through here tomorrow afternoon. Now, instabilities, they're going to be pretty good. That's tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, and that's suggesting instabilities will be over 1,500 joules. But remember, every summer day, June, July, August, every day, we have instability values at times up to 3,000 joules, but there's no dynamics, none. And again, the helicity, there just isn't any tomorrow. The shear, it's way up there in eastern Canada and the New England area. So certainly, tornadoes won't be a problem, or they shouldn't be. And the EHI is marginal. So, it's kind of a marginal risk. Strong storms, you'll see probably some with hail and the chance of gusty winds, like on a summer day. But again, we stress it's nothing like last Friday. Then Thursday, you can see that battleground between the warm ridge over the Gulf and the westerlies to the north. The front is beginning to lift north as a warm front. But again, it's still kind of hanging around. So Thursday, there could be some storms around. So clearly, this week, the 2 days with the better chance of showers and storms will be tomorrow and Thursday, but no total washout. And having said that, though, there could be some heavy rain, especially over the Tennessee Valley. And with the high precipitable water values, we'll have to watch for some minor flooding issues. Friday, the ridge really takes over as the warm front is way north of us. A new surface low is forming there near Wichita. And again, I think most of the day Friday will be dry and still very warm. We'll be in the 80s. And the Easter weekend, the ridge is dominant. That's Saturday. Should be partly sunny and very warm with mid-80s. And again, there could be a shower, but the chance looks so small we're not going to mention that. And the same thing on Easter. Very warm, muggy, but mostly dry with warm air aloft thanks to the ridge. And again, mid-80s are likely. All right, now look at here now. Monday, we got a very strong vortex digging down through the Red River region on the Texas-Oklahoma border, and we'll have to watch for that. That could be some active convection off to the west, and at some point that could move in here. There's Tuesday of next week, still broad troughing to the west, and the storms get closer. So, and then the following day, Wednesday the 27th, that could be a pretty active period, maybe for strong or severe storms. So we'll be watching developments out there toward the middle part of next week. Hey, this is April in Alabama, This is when things like that do happen, and they often will happen. We'll check the end of the forecast on May 4th. Look at the 588 circle down there over South Texas. Yeah, it's getting close to summer when you see that thing creeping up. Trough on the California coast, westerlies a little north of here. And again, there's no skill at specifics this far in advance. That's why we call it voodoo country, but we just always like to peek out there. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening. ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.